Um, when we were talking the other day, it was just like, Dave, I could sit and listen to you for hours, tell your stories. I mean,
And they're mostly true.
yeah, I mean,
Mostly.
they're just so good. I mean, all right. So how long have you been a realtor? How many years?
I have been a realtor for 53 years.
Oh my goodness.
I had hair.
That,
Yeah.
that's
53 years.
amazing.
That's freaking
That's
crazy.
amazing.
Megan,
I
you've been
know.
what, 14 or 15?
14. I think this is my 14th year. I feel like I say that every year.
But you're a lot younger than me
But I
and
yeah,
prettier.
14. Oh, you're sweet. But I've learned so much from you. Every single time we chat, Dave, I always feel like I'm motivated and you fire
Really?
me up. Yeah. It's been a
Wow.
while, but yes, for sure.
You know what's
I
cool about
start
you,
charging.
Dave? It's like, Dave, you don't hold back. You say it like it is. Good,
Yeah.
bad,
Gets me in
indifferent,
trouble.
whatever.
Gets me in trouble a lot.
It's gonna,
But it also is probably why you've been doing real estate for 53 years and you're having a pretty good year despite what's going on out there in the market, right?
Well, I think that's a lot of it is keep hearing this despite what's going on in the market. Um, markets change every day. It's not, we don't get paid, Megan and I don't get paid based on what markets do. We get paid for closing escrows. So the market is what the market is. We need to adapt, adjust to do whatever to close escrows.
right. I
Right.
agree. I agree. I mean, I was chatting with someone yesterday at my open house, and it was, people still have life changes all the time. That will never change. People will die. People will get married. People will have babies. People will downsize,
Get divorced.
get divorced, all the things. That is never going to change. And if we just adapt to this new normal, we don't have those unicorn years of, craziness and people, bidding hundreds of thousands of over asking with no contingencies. This is just the new normal today. And
Although I still see it in the market I'm in.
actually, yes,
See what, Dave?
multiple offers,
Sorry.
multiple
Oh.
offers. Yeah. We're
So,
still seeing it here too, but just not the same, and at different price points. I would say it's a little bit slower.
my grandfather was in the auction business. He had a third grade education. He was really a gambler. And I remember one time I was talking with him, and I don't remember how or why the topic came up, but it's something to do with a better time to buy or sell. And he said to me, he says, boy, he says, there's always buyers and there's always sellers. It's our job to find them. And so that's what we do every day. There's always buyers and there's always sellers. When the market tanked in 1981 and we saw the first round of REO, I thought, I wonder if I could get a listing from a bank. And everybody thought I was nuts, that banks don't list properties with brokers. You're wasting your time. And so the market changed. I went and found the seller. It was the banks. And I got listings and I was making money because I was closing escrows when nobody else was.
I remember that.
So what about now? So you guys were talking about like market is what the market is and you have to adapt. So Dave, what have you done? Like what's your biggest thing that you've done for 2023 to adapt?
It's not just 2023. It's not adapting. It's the same basics year in and year out. It doesn't matter what the market is like. Real estate's not a property business. Real estate's a people business. So it's about having routines, having a process, finding a way to meet more people, to be in front of more people, which is why the three of us are here today, is to get in front of more people. It's why when Jeff Gillette said to me, and I think we were in Dallas, Texas, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to go smoke a cigar? Sure. Do you know a guy named Armando Tam? I go, no. Do you know anything about NARUP? I go, what? So I went to go smoke a cigar, met some new people, including you, Darren. And when I was asked who's in, I went, I'm in, even though I had no idea what I volunteered for. But it taught me a whole bunch of stuff, introduced me to a whole bunch of new people, and made me a bunch of money.
Yeah, those were great. Those were great times. That was a lot of fun.
But there's always those opportunities.
Yeah. All right, Megan, what have you done to, like, again, kind of what Dave said, you don't really change a thing, but what have you done to adapt?
Well, I think one of the things that if I look back at when I got started, when I started in real estate, I think it was I was 24/7, just nonstop thinking, and we had little kids, and I really was just so focused on closing transactions and trying to get, my name recognized in this business. And oh my gosh, I cannot get these alerts off. And I really didn't have any systems. I still could be better about my systems, as you know, but
Me too.
I would say one thing that I've started to do more over the last couple of years, particularly, is really being more going back to the basics of connecting. I've been more of a mindset of education and service, and trying to help people understand more about our business. And I did not do that initially. Yes, one-on-one, but really trying to provide more education. And that's through my social content and newsletters and stuff like that. I feel like once you change the mindset, or at least when I did, of who else can I meet to try to make the deal? I feel like when I changed to a service mindset, those things just came to me naturally, if that makes sense. So going back to basics and connecting via email, trying to be more intentional about providing educational content and newsletters and all of the things that I feel like I didn't really do because I was so new in the business, trying to get more business, if that makes sense. So
what about, Megan, we kind of talked about this, and Dave, so did we, social media and the importance of it, and or not. So Megan, you were saying the other day, you've been kind of busy, right? You've had stuff going on, and you haven't really been doing the posts and reels and things out for social media that you were doing.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so good point. So hold that thought.
Okay.
So Megan, you faded away a little bit from doing posts and stuff because you were getting busy. But were you getting busy because of the post before, or were you getting busy
that's a good question, because I know it's easy to get kind of caught up in the social media thing and trying to be relevant and, be the person that everyone sees on social media. But the reality is not everyone is on social media, and you've got to create a really good balance. And
well, I am on it sometime. I'm just not on it all day, every day. I might look at it a couple times a week.
Right. Well, I mean, today, I think more people are looking online at homes. They just are. And so it's trying to, in my my thoughts are, how can we create a really good balance of, being on social media, being relevant within social media, but also sticking with what works, and that's making phone calls, meeting people in person, and doing all of that. So you've got to create a good balance. I would say that, I don't know if I started getting more, really being more busy in the last several weeks because of that, or because I was more focused on making more calls. I don't know. That's why keeping track of how you're getting your business is so important. And I have to go back and look. But I do think it's important to really time block if you can, and create a small portion of your day to be engaging in social media, but not several hours of your day.
Counting on it.
Let's
Schubb, what do you think?
let's talk about balance, because
Yeah.
Megan, you said some things that triggered some thoughts in my head. Most of us agents, myself included, we work in a cycle. We go out and prospect for business. When we find the prospect, then we focus on either finding them a home to buy or getting their listing sold. Then we're in the escrow part of the cycle, and then the escrow closes and we're out of business. And we have to start all over again looking for the prospect. So, I used to coach. So it's a matter of trying to keep all of those cylinders firing at the same time. You're prospecting, you're working with the buyer and the seller, you're dealing with your escrow, you're closing your escrow, and then when you close the escrow, you've still got the other pistons firing. That's really hard to do. And I was glad to hear you say that you're blocking out time, because that's part of what I used to coach. Create a calendar and block out 15-minute increments 7 days a week, even if, or especially as 1 hour in the middle of the day is to have lunch, or you're playing golf or whatever you're doing. It goes on that calendar in those blocks. And social media is an important part of that for sure, because you're right, Megan, people are searching for homes online almost always before they call their favorite realtor or any realtor. And you need to be present in that media to have an opportunity, unless you've been doing it so long that you've got such a great sphere of influence that the bulk of your business comes from repeat business or referral business. But then you've got to be working your sphere of influence, which is maybe includes social media. I wish I knew all the answers, because then I wouldn't have to be working.
Well, I will say a couple of things that just came into mind just now also with, for me, is I'm actually being more intentional about asking almost everybody I meet. If you were thinking of buying or selling, do you have somebody that you normally call or refer? And
here's a better word instead of buying or selling, because that's a defensive: moving. Okay. Do you know anybody that's thinking of moving?
Moving.
Perfect.
Okay, I like that. But listen, the feedback that I get is, well, that's a good question. Yes, I have so-and-so, or no, I don't. Well, and then I ask if I can be that person. And I'm telling you, I wasn't doing that. I know. I wasn't doing that for a long time, though. And I also have gone back and asked clients who have not given me a review if they would do that, because I think it's now so competitive and people go online and they look at those reviews. And I have a lot, but gosh, if I had asked from the very beginning nonstop, I would have, twice as many reviews. So, it's definitely getting out there and also asking for the business.
So one of the things that we're doing that's sort of social media related is we just revamped our website. And because we focused, my business now is focused on Rossmore. I'm not out looking to close $100 million worth of business every year anymore. Well, I only did that once. I did. Well, 95 million.
Amazing.
I'm happy to close 2 escrows a month. And my average sales price is around close to $1 million here. But I live in this community. We're very active in this community. So I revamped my website. It's Rossmore centric. It's more about Rossmore than it is about us. But what am I trying to say? It's become an important addition to any of the kind of things that you were talking about. Do you know anybody that's thinking about moving? Well, yeah, I do. Check out my website because it's got a lot of information about Rossmore.
That's great.
So I don't know if you're specific into one part of Marin County, but...
Well, initially I was very opposed to focusing on where I lived. One part of the county. I wanted to be centrally located. I wanted to work up and down the county. I wanted to cover everything. And I didn't want to be pigeonholed to one end of the county. And over 2020, because of the pandemic and everything going on, I wasn't really wanting to be outside of my little bubble of where I lived. And initially, later it changed, but I started selling a lot more where I lived and where I'm from. And then I started embracing that. And yes, I sell all over Marin County, and I have clients in just about every city, but I am really starting to focus more on I sell more where I live. So let's be okay with that. And let's, try to capitalize on the fact that I grew up there, lived there, know the area, and sell in the area. Right. So now I would say I sell more in one end of the county, but I'm really still, because of my past sales, I'm still all over the place, and I still tour all over the place, but I get the working on focusing on a niche. And
that's the big thing, I think.
Yeah.
We're trying to do that here, and we're trying to get this word out as far as like going back to social media, that, a lot of people say, well, I don't want to start doing social media. I don't want to start doing videos because everyone's doing videos, which is true. But what we're trying to do now is we call it, who's your avatar? What's your avatar? Meaning, what's your ideal client? Like, for example, for me, my ideal client would be, let's just say, active duty military or a veteran that's looking to get into a home anywhere, really, or first responders. I love working with first responders. So trying to you can actually just market to those people, like Dave, like you're doing with Rossmore. Mm-hmm. And Megan, how you should do, and we've talked about it, like you're born and raised pretty much in Nevada. You've been here your whole life, and you know every corner of Nevada and California.
Yeah.
You should own it.
Yeah.
And
I think
just like Dave does.
One of the things that gives us a leg up on even local realtors is that we live here. We're familiar with what's going on here. We know all kinds of little things that most people, even if they know them, don't think about them because they don't live here. It's not top of mind. And the people that live here, I have something in common with the people that live here. Don't say old age.
I was going to say it.
No, but we all live here for there's something about where you live in Nevada that attracted you, and there's probably similar reasons that the other people that lived there were attracted. So you've got something in common. That's something I used to coach new agents, is focus on getting involved. If you got kids in the school, PTA kind of stuff, because you have something in common with those people. You've got children in the same school, churches, same thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to be, where there's some commonality so that you can connect. And I could sell houses in Novato, but I wouldn't do it very well because I'm not even sure I know where Novato is. When are you inviting me for dinner?
We're soon, because we would love to have you guys out.
We would love it.
So, hey, real quick. So we're coming up on 30 minutes already. That went quick. But Megan, you want to say one more thing?
Well, I was just going to ask you, Dave, I'm curious when you ever get, or do you ever get to a point where you're tired, overwhelmed, don't want to do it anymore, just want to throw in the towel for the minute? And how do you get through that? Because real estate is very up and down. I think it's, some will say it's feast or famine. And I'm assuming you're not always just happy-go-lucky. What do you do? How do you get through times that you're that are tough?
Wow. I had coffee with a friend of mine the other day who's not in real estate. And he brought up this question. We were talking, I forget what the discussion was, but I know what it was. Being in the real estate business, I never know where the next paycheck's coming from. I never know when the next paycheck is coming. I never know how big or small the next paycheck is going to be. And I don't really have any goals that are 5 years, 10 years out. It's almost like living day to day. And he said to me, how do you do that? I keep trying to want to be able to do that. And I thought, I don't know. I don't know how I do that, but it is day to day for me. And if I'm having a bad day, sometimes I just say, you know what? I'm done for today. And tomorrow's a new day and it's just over. I worked for a broker years ago named Richard Clancy. He had Security Pacific Real Estate. Just passed away a little while ago. He invented home warranties. He invented the 100% commission split. He was a real industry leader, and hardly anybody knows it because he was very humble. I remember one year the market was really bad. Sales were really bad. So in August, he had a New Year's Eve party in the parking lot, big party. He goes, the year's over, we're starting over. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it worked, I don't know. But, I might sit down at the piano over here and work on that, or jump on my bike, or just turn on the TV and watch a baseball game. And tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
That's good.
So unplug, basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Being president of the Real Estate Association adds some extra pressures sometimes. And I think sometimes that even bothers me more than the real estate business, because I feel less in control due to my inexperience as being a president. So, yeah, I just like, you know what, I can't do anything about it. I can't control what they think. The other local presidents and I are part of a group. We meet every month, and I explained to them that local in this association, they've coined a new term. It's called the Schubb effect. That's me pissing people off, and the other presidents have embraced it. So they use
That's great. Good job, Schubb.
Yeah.
All right, we got to about wrap it up. So real quick, I want to ask this question to both of you. And it's one I get from other podcasts that I listen to. But Schubb, if you could have a billboard out on the highway that could say anything you wanted to say anywhere, what would it say?
Wow. Go Giants.
Okay, I'll let you have that, I guess.
I'll let Megan answer the question. I'll think about it. I don't
Okay,
know.
I'll go to Megan first.
Oh, I have the first thing that came to mind was be kind.
Okay,
That's the
be
first thing
kind.
that came to mind. Yeah.
That's fine. All right, Shubb, one more shot.
If it's real estate related,
It could be anything related.
Well, he said go Giants.
go Giants.
You could take Go Giants. That's totally fine. You know what?
I love
Take
baseball.
Go Giants.
Oh,
I love baseball.
That's perfect. That's what we're gonna keep then. I love that. That's good. Shubb, love you, brother. Always have,
Love you
always
too.
will. Thanks for doing this. Megan, of course you know I love you. You're my wife.
me too.
Giggle.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, thanks,
See you
thanks for
soon.
the invitation. And yeah, let's get together soon. I'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow, Megan.
Oh, yes. Sounds good.
Hey, don't hang up.
Okay.
Bye.